good morning. So today I've come out to Witchampton. That's where I'm starting my walk from. So I'm going to have a little mooch around the church just for 5 minutes before we head off out into the countryside. So yeah, it should be a lovely walk today, lovely morning, and I hope you're going to join me and I hope you enjoy it. So I'll pick you up in a minute.
The church at Witchampton is dedicated to St Mary, St Cuthberga and All Saints. The main church dates from 1832 when it was rebuilt after a fire. Only the 15th century tower remains of the original building. But the oldest part of the church is the 13th century font, which was once used as a cattle trough.
So yes, we've come out to Witchampton. I'm hoping to do a walk which will take in right across to the Tarrant Valley. Should pick up some interesting stuff on the way. Should be bluebell woods and hopefully rate fields, maybe wild garlic. Should be some lovely spring stuff, I hope. The only thing is, at the moment, my right ankle's giving me a bit of grief this morning. So I'm hoping that that's going to hold out for the day. If not, we will adapt to suit the circumstances and shorten the walk. But it should be a great walk. It's a lovely day. I'm getting on straight away out into the country because the forecast says it's going to cloud over later, and in fact there's supposed to be even some rain, so I've got to grab the sun while I can, and I hope you grab it with me. It should be lovely. So while I was at the churchyard just now, there were 3 guys who were trimming the grass. And I just think that's such a shame, because the bit that they haven't trimmed, that I actually managed to film, it looks absolutely lovely, with the longish grass in amongst the gravestones and the buttercups. They're beautiful. And I kind of think, I wish they'd leave it to grow wild, which some churchyards do. I really love churchyards. They're absolutely awesome for wildlife when they leave them to grow wild. You get so much around there. It's a shame, really. It doesn't need to be pristine in my eyes. I know some people like it that way, but it's just my personal view anyway. So we've got a little bit of road walking to do. initially, just to get out of Witchampton and onto my country paths, but it won't be long. So the observant will have noticed that I have my summer hat on today. It's because it's actually quite warm this morning, or comparatively warm anyway. But unfortunately it's also a bit breezy. In fact, it's quite windy at times, so it might be a mistake, because unfortunately the summer hat is definitely not as aerodynamic as my winter woolly hat, and I've already nearly lost it once. Well, never mind, it's summer, so let's celebrate it. And what a glorious morning it is at the moment. Well, I feel really angry now. There's a lovely bluebell woods. It's my favourite bluebell woods, I think, near Witchampton, as I've been coming through for years. And whilst there's no official footpath through the woods, it's been a kind of accepted permissive footpath, because lots of people walk it and have done for many years. And it's a lovely woods. There's never been any damage there that I'm aware of. The bluebells are pristine. And suddenly, whoever owns it, and I think it's some estate, and I think they're based in Salisbury, I believe, suddenly they've put up notices and gates on all the entrances saying that it's private land and you can't access it. That really flies in the face of right to roam, and I don't know, and I don't get why, because the owners I've never seen anybody there, so the owners don't use it. It's almost, why block access to it? But I know technically they own it, but this whole thing with right to roam, and you go back centuries, we could roam anywhere in England. Nobody really owned any of it. Anyway, let's get that off my chest. Yes, a subject that really needs to be brought up again, right to roam, and stop blocking people from using land which everyone should be able to access. It's really not right. Anyway, that's my rant over for the day. Oh dear. You see now blockages everywhere today. Is that a ploy to stop people using this track as well? Looks like somebody might have found a detour. And there's more bluebells, a bit sparse, but you can't stop the Dorset Rambler. Another bug heaven. Amazing that is. Full of holes. What's in there? That's what I'd like to know. Amazing, isn't it? The trees, they live their life, and when they die they still carry on providing homes for bugs. Amazing. Love it. Found a rape field, and I've got to walk through it in a minute. So interestingly, I've just been talking to a couple that passed me by, and they live local to Witchampton, and they said that they were told the reason all the signs have gone up, no access, is supposedly because of public liability, that if you fall and are injured on their land, that they could be liable. I'm not convinced that that's right. Anyway, yes, quite obviously some quite tough landowners out this way. Of course, the other story, maybe nearer the truth, is that the public accessing these lands disturbs the pheasants, and therefore spoils the pheasant shooting. I don't know, that's the truth of it, eh? Be interested to know. So I've now reached the path that skirts along the top of the Tarrant Valley. It's a lovely path beside the woodlands, and you can't actually see it very well on the video, but the Tarrant Valley is across this field. We will get better views down the valley later, but I've always liked walking this path, because you walk with lovely views all the time, and it's probably a mile or two along the rim of the valley before we need to cut back inland. Inland? Sounds like I'm on the coast. But you know what I mean. What an awesome path this is. I just love it. Some butterflies out. The cow parsley. It's just amazing. And we're still skirting round the Tarrant Valley. It's called the Tarrant Valley. There's all sorts of villages, river of course, villages that all have Tarrant in the name. And the valley bottom is, well, you can see down the bottom now, we're getting closer to it. Such a lovely walk, just walking along this path, looking at that view. What could be better, eh? Well, I suppose the only thing that could be better is that field on my left was laid to rape, because they have rape fields in either side of this path at times, which is really lovely. Unfortunately, not now. They've either harvested it or it wasn't raped this year. Never mind, it's lovely anyway. And my lunch stop awaits. When you walk these routes fairly regularly, you get to know where there are fallen logs and things that might provide a seat to sit on. This is one of them. lovely. It's not quite so peaceful as it might be because there's been some brush cutting or something over there. You can probably hear. Oh, thank you, log. That's a very nice lunch spot. Looking at a lovely view. Bad timing though, because I have just finished my lunch and I'm about to get going again. And they've just finished cutting back the brush. So it's suddenly gone quiet. Never mind. Time to move on. It's been absolutely beautiful today so far, and I kind of think I made the right choice. Wasn't originally the walk I was going to do today. I planned one more in West Dorset, but I checked the forecast and it kind of suggested that it was going to be cloudier in the west, brighter in the east, so I decided to switch round and at the last minute head for Witchampton to more into East Dorset, and I'm glad I did because it's been absolutely beautiful. It does look like there's a bank of cloud building, so I'm not sure I'm going to keep the sunshine all afternoon. It's not meant to anyway, but maybe the forecast will be right. Makes a change, kind of, doesn't it? Anyway, it's lovely, and I love this hedgerows either side of this path. A little bit early, later on, come into this kind of summer and autumn, these hedgerows are usually laden with all kinds of berries and you know, usual autumn fruits, and it's lovely, I think. Another butterfly following me. Oh, I found another tract of bluebell woods. It's amazing. So we're about to enter another tract of woodlands. This is Chetterwood, which is a really lovely woodlands, mixed woodlands again. I think there might be some conifers, but mostly it's mixed broadleaf and bluebells and spring foliage. So it's a lovely woods. Which I always enjoy walking. There's only one awkward bit, and that's one of the paths through the woods is a bridle way, and when it's wet it gets chewed up. But hopefully it should be fine today. I'm always interested to know what this was. It's in the middle of the deep woods. That tree is amazing over there, the way it's growing out of the wall with its roots dropping down each side. It's probably holding the wall up, in fact. amazing. Nature taking over. Incredible. But what was the building? It's not big. Looks like it might have had 2 rooms. Maybe it's something to do with forestry. Don't know, always intrigues me. This is the bit. I'm on the bridleway. This is where I'm thankful I've got my walking pole and 3rd foot. Oh, we got through the mucky stretch. It's a nice path lined with bluebells and ramsons, of course. This is really cool, isn't it? Nice bit of topiary. I like it. On the grounds of an old cottage. And the hedge as well. Look at that beautifully manicured hedge. That's awesome. So I've now arrived at Manswood, which is a lovely little hamlet not far from Witchampton. Interestingly, should that be allowed actually, because it's a bit sexist, isn't it? Manswood. Should it not be person's wood? Well, you know, that's the way it is these days, isn't it? Nice little blossom on that tree. Lovely little lane. And just up here is another one of my seats. I've got my name on these seats, so I think it might be time for a snack and a drink. It's not a bad little view for a sit down and have a cup of tea. Really nice. So thank you, bench. Enjoyed my break. Gave my ankle a bit of a rest. Now we've got another, probably getting on for 2 miles to do, I think. So that will be probably 11 miles in total. I think this walk wasn't meant to be that long, but as always, of course, I detour. I have a feeling that I might have videoed this before, but I can't remember what route I was taking. But I seem to remember videoing something interesting which is just up here. It is just down this track. And it is the longest line of thatch in Dorset, or so it said. This is a line of, I don't know how many cottages. That one says 11/12, so I'm guessing there must be 12 cottages all in a row and all with one line of thatch. Now, does anyone know of a longer line in Dorset? This one I think makes the claim. And we of course get the wrong end here really, because the other side of them is better. They're effectively back gardens, I guess, which face south, or probably southwest I would think. So they're lovely sunny back gardens which we can't really see very well. And it looks like it's called The Buildings. Ah. Interesting, huh? Oh, there's cottages. Unfortunately, can't see any of the back gardens. But it would be very pretty cottage gardens, I'm sure. We will walk down the avenue. Cue for a song, but I'll spare you that. That's another really nice path. So many nice paths on this route, especially this time of the year, I think, with the foliage out, spring shrubs and trees all out in leaf. Just makes such a nice, pleasant place to walk. I just love it. That's a nice clear path to follow. Not always this way across this field. Been known to have sweet corn, or corn on the cob, head height, and be trying to scramble through it. So this is good. A nice clear path marked for us. We're at the other end of the field now. And the wind's dropped, or feels like it's dropped. It's quite peaceful here. Right, over the stile. There's another of my seats. Rest and be thankful. I might do just that. kind of cool. I think it's the children from the local primary school, I think, have done it. It's lovely. So as the sign says, Witchampton is just a quarter of a mile down the road behind me. So I think this is a good time to sign off the video. It's been another awesome day. Absolutely loved it again. So good to feel a bit of spring sunshine and a bit of spring warmth, and to see the spring foliage and flowers and bugs and things. It's just been great. Just when your spring comes and you get all this new life, just brings you alive. Well, for me, it brings me alive. It makes me feel like the hibernating of winter is over, and yes, we're into the spring and summer period. Well, fingers crossed that it's going to be a good one. But it's certainly been a great day. I might have been a bit annoyed about my bluebell woods that I can't access anymore, but it's been a fantastic day. I've loved it. So I hope you've enjoyed it too, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. And if you have, then do subscribe to my channel and follow me, and do share it as well. I'd love it if you'd share it. So yeah, thanks for coming with me. It's been an absolute blast again for me. But for now, this is me, the Dorset Rambler, saying until next time. And I didn't lose my hat, by the way. It's all fine, all good.